What happened? Why aren't men pursuing women anymore? Honestly, I don't know why women keep asking this question over and over. But let's see if we can try and explain it to them one more time. But let's be honest though, the answers we're giving them are going to go in one ear and right out the other, because the reality is they don't really want to know what men actually think. They just want men to validate what they think is the reason, even though it's completely wrong. So why are men not approaching women anymore? Well, to quote an old guy from a few hundred years ago, let me count the ways. And I'm going to give you the 3 biggest reasons why men have stopped approaching. Number 1, because there's nothing to be gained in doing so. Sorry, ladies, but men have figured out that while you think you can have all the insane expectations in the world, you know, like if he isn't 6 feet tall with 6-pack abs and a 6-figure income, you also tell us that if men have even the slightest of expectations, hell, any at all, then we're controlling, manipulative, and abusive. The expectation in today's relationships is that they're a one-way street where men give, and get nothing in return. Thanks, but no thanks. Number 2, because it's not safe to approach women anymore. The risk to being in the vicinity of a woman or a group of women, let alone approaching one, is simply too great. False allegations are rampant at work, at school, in the home, literally anywhere in today's society. Women have weaponized Me Too and are using it to get back at men for even the slightest of reasons, knowing not only will they be believed, even when it's been proven beyond a doubt that they're lying, but that they'll get a ton of sympathy for the trauma they faced. Approaching a woman nowadays isn't just taking the risk of getting mocked, made fun of, or told to go away, incel. It carries the very real risk of arrest, prison, and having your life destroyed. Ask yourselves, ladies, would you be willing to take that risk, knowing that if you just happen to pick the wrong person to approach, they'll destroy your life just because they can? Yeah, I didn't think so. And finally, number 3, the biggest and best reason of all. You told us not to, ladies. You've made it abundantly clear you don't want us, don't need us, and most importantly, don't want us approaching you. So while you may think we men aren't listening, aren't paying attention, we heard you loud and clear, and we men are giving you exactly what you want. Which begs the question, why, for the love of God, do you keep asking these same questions over and over?
It's truly mind-blowing how these women keep asking the same redundant questions, feeding their own delusions while invalidating themselves in the process. It's like taking a giant step backward. The attitudes towards men over the last 15 years have made it too dangerous and simply not worth it for us to chase or approach women anymore. Let's talk about divorce for a moment. It's turned into a nightmare for men, both emotionally and financially. We've lost good years of our lives and personal property, leaving us with nothing left to lose. It's like women want what they can't have, not what they can actually have. And let's be honest, most women just aren't worth it. There's nothing to gain but huge risks. So why bother? It's better to focus on personal growth and development, steering clear of women altogether. After all, women are the ones always looking for men to take care of them, right? Well, if they want that, they should take the initiative. Otherwise, they'll end up alone with their cats, wondering where it all went wrong. You see, men have been painted as the villains for far too long. We've been shamed, blamed, and cast aside. But what do we get in return? Nothing but more demands, more expectations, and more toxicity. We're tired of being treated like disposable commodities, only valued for what we can provide. But here's the thing, it's not just about what women want from us. It's also about what they bring to the table. And let's face it, most of them bring nothing but drama, entitlement, and unrealistic expectations. They expect us to jump through hoops to please them, while they offer nothing in return. It's time for women to wake up and realize that they're not entitled to anything. They're not princesses waiting to be rescued. They're not goddesses deserving of worship. They're just ordinary human beings, flawed and imperfect like the rest of us. So if women want to be...
And so we have all these platforms today that are saying some of the same things, including myself. There's a reason behind it. We want y'all to listen to us. We want to be with y'all. And I don't care who you are. This is just humans. Nobody can just do whatever the hell they want, right? Nobody. That's what women think they can do. Men know our boundaries. Men, we do what we need to do. We don't do whatever the hell we want to do. We do what's necessary. And again, none of this is bashing of women. It's the reason we're saying these things is to get women to understand, because although it's real bad out here right now, in relationship land and dating and all that type of stuff, I ain't about no dating. Look, let's meet up. Let's talk about it. What do you want? I'll tell you what I want. Let's do that. And let's move on down the path. Move it forward. It's not that hard. Y'all, women make it hard. The easier you keep it for us men, the better it's gonna be. And that's just simple. We're simple. We're not looking in women. We're not really looking for a lot. We're looking for pretty much cooperativeness. Be nice. Don't be disagreeable for the sake of being disagreeable. If it makes sense to you, okay, that's cool. Because that's everything I said is the approach that I'm going to take. And knowing that the man is going to be the leader of the relationship, he's going to know the best way to go, because he's not operating in his emotions. He's going to, if he's a man, all the time, he's just going to do what makes sense. It's not going to feel right at the time, sometime, for you. But just calm down. Give it a little bit of time. Later on, it's going to be all good. Trust me.
Be treated like equals, they need to start acting like it. They need to take responsibility for their own lives and stop expecting men to do everything for them. Otherwise, they'll continue to be disappointed, wondering why they can't find a good man, while pushing away the ones who actually care. If women want to find happiness and fulfillment in their lives, they need to start looking inward instead of outward. Otherwise, they'll continue to chase after the wrong things, only to end up empty-handed in the end.
Hey, little Bumble update. I was supposed to have a date tonight. We're supposed to meet here at a restaurant at 7:30. It was gonna be a first date. The guy pursued me, of course, and we've chatted probably for like 4 days. And like yesterday, he was like, "Hey, can I have your number? Let's talk off of here." And I was like, "Sure, let's do it." And so we did. And so he's texted me, like being consistent, and he was like, "So when am I gonna be able to take your, pretty butt on a date?" And I was just like, "Well, I'm free like anytime in the evenings, like after 6. Like I work, and on the weekends after 6. I work on the weekends too." And so he was like, "Okay, well, I don't have any plans tonight. What about tonight? Is that too early?" And I was like, "No." I was like, "I don't have any plans either." And he's like, "Well, would you want to go, grab a drink, go to dinner? What would you want to do something?" And I was like, "Yeah, I would love that." I was like, "I'll be free. Like we can meet somewhere. I can meet you at 7:30 somewhere." "Okay, where do you want to go?" "You just pick a restaurant and like I'll meet you there." And he did. Love that. So he, we text like up until about 6:30. And so at like 6:40, I was like, "Hey," "it'll be 15 minutes and I'll be, leaving." It takes me about 15 to get there. Nothing. So I was like, "Okay, cool." So then I texted him at 7 when I was leaving. I was like, "Hey, I'm on my way." Nothing. So then I get to the restaurant and it's about 7:20, and I'm not early for anything. Like we're supposed to meet at 7:30. I'm normally here right at 7:30, but I was early. And so I called him because I was like, well, maybe he's driving. I don't know how far it takes him. He just, whatever. Call him and no answer. So I looked, I was like, he hadn't blocked me because my texts are still going through. He hasn't blocked me on the app. So like, whatever. So it is now 7:52, and we're supposed to meet at 7:30, and I've heard nothing from him. So, this sucks. Like, why waste my time? Because I stopped working early, so I could leave, get home, get ready. Like, you pursued me. Like, why? Why waste my fucking time? Like, that's what pisses me off about dating in this world is, like, be a damn adult and, like, cancel. Like, if you, or don't even pursue me. Like, there's, like, don't waste my time. It's very frustrating, just to be, like, I've wasted my time, wasted makeup, you know, to come here, wasted gas, and then just for you to not show up when all you had to do was, oh, I don't know, not talk to me. Or just not ask me out. Like, what's the purpose of it? But here we are, again, 4th time. Cool.
So, I understand that he did that, but did you even think to look inward to see, well, why would he do that? Obviously, it's got to be something about you. Go back over some of the conversations y'all had, and I guarantee you, if you're going to be fair, you're going to see something that pushed him away and made him not show up. If you're going to be fair, if you're going to take accountability, but we know women, they don't take accountability. They don't take any accountability. So this is 100% on him, even though there's 2 humans involved. But her blame is going to go to 100% towards him. There's something wrong with him. Now, I don't think it's the best practice to ghost anybody, but since he actually have not met her, only had interactions on the phone and text and these type of things, if he saw something that would bring up a red flag, the best practice is to ghost. That's probably the best practice. You don't want to get involved in any way, shape, or form, and then she gets emotional and say you did something to her that was not true. That is the worst case. That is the scariest thing that men think about. So say, that you don't know how quick someone falls in love with you, a woman falls in love with you, anything like that. And then after that, y'all may have adult relations and you be like, nah, you know what? I saw these red flags. I ignored them up to this point. But afterward, you can be like, nope, then ghost. Oh, no. Who knows what she can do and what she can say and lie. And I've seen it over and over. It's a scary situation. So for your best interest, Miss Lady, and his, it's best that he ghosted you.
Absolutely. It's amazing how something as seemingly small as chewing gum can be such a turnoff during a date.
Oh my goodness.
Men are
gracious.
indeed intelligent beings who reflect on every conversation, analyzing whether there's potential for something more. And let's be real here. If a woman is chomping on her gum like a cow, it's definitely not sending the right vibes. It's clear that this guy wasn't feeling like he was going to get what he wanted from her. Maybe he sensed a lack of chemistry or compatibility. And you know what? That's perfectly okay. Men are starting to realize that they don't need to settle for someone who doesn't meet their standards. In fact, some men are even taking it a step further and standing girls up on first dates to see how they react. It's a bit extreme, sure, but it's a clear sign of how fed up some guys are with the entitlement and game playing that seems to be rampant in the dating scene. And let's not forget about those chads who are spinning women up with false hope, only to ghost them later on. It's a cruel game, and unfortunately, it seems like some women are falling right into the trap. But here's the thing. True connection and chemistry can't be forced. You'll find everything you want in a man when you least expect it. And for many men, drama is an absolute deal breaker.
Yep.
They crave peace and tranquility in their lives, not unnecessary drama and chaos. So it's no wonder that modern Western women are struggling to find the right man. If they continue down this path of drama and entitlement, they may find themselves doomed to a life of loneliness and disappointment. But hey, maybe it's time for a reality check. Maybe it's time to start appreciating the good men who are out there, instead of playing games and chasing after something that may never materialize.
I have had multiple men in my adult life ask me the same question.
Is that question, how much do you weigh? I just want to know.
Megan, you seem great. You seem awesome. How come you've never had a boyfriend? How am I supposed to answer that? Because yeah, I am great. I am awesome. But it's like when you go to a job interview and they're like, what experience do you have? And you're like, well, actually, this is going to be my first job, but like, I'm really prepared for it. I went to college. I got all the classes done. Like, I know exactly what this job needs from me. But they're like, but you've never had experience? You've never done this job before? And they don't hire you. That's how I currently feel. Because, again, multiple men in my adult life who I have talked to have asked me that question, and I say the same thing back, like, I don't know. Because I do feel like I'm prepared for this. I am not hiding anything from you guys. There's not some weird skeleton in my closet. No human skeletons. And I know, without a shadow of a doubt in my heart, that there's gonna be some keyboard warrior who looks at me and he says, you know the reason. You know the reason. It's because you're fat. You know the reason. Honey, I know, I have a mirror. But plenty of plentiful people find love. So shut it. Anyway. And with this whole Shoot My Shot series that I've been doing on TikTok, by the way, sorry there have been no updates, but really there have been no updates. Sorry.
But you just said the reason. That's the reason. You don't even really need to say anything else. That's really the reason, because you're fat.
Sorry. But a lot of you guys in my comments have been like, Megan, how are you single? Yeah, I don't know. And I know that this path is not an abnormal one for a lot of people. I know that there are a lot of people who are my age, older or younger, who have never had a boyfriend or a significant other. So I know that I'm not alone in this, but at what point am I not gonna be alone in this life? I don't know if I have a point to this video. I'm just upset. I'm just like, yeah, I am a catch. I know it. You know it. I just need one man. I just need one man to know it. Not just to know it, but like to follow through on it. Like, where's the follow through, people?
It sounds like she's stuck in the past, reminiscing about her glory days from 20 years ago. But here's the thing. She needs a reality check. Thinking you're a great catch is one thing, but actually being one is another. And from what it sounds like, her problem isn't weight-based. It's that she's too picky and has standards that no one has met yet. Let's not forget, men have standards too. They're not just going to settle for anyone who comes along. And if she's unknowingly making people feel friend-zoned, then she's definitely not sending the right signals. But here's the real kicker. Most women aren't actively working on improving themselves. They're too focused on finding someone who meets their checklist of requirements, instead of looking inward and working on becoming the best version of themselves. Men don't like it when women appear to know it all, and don't allow them to step into their masculine energy and be the hero. It's emasculating and off-putting. So here's a piece of advice for her. Maybe it's time to start being the dominant one and asking men out. After all, men are too afraid to make the first move these days, thanks to the fear of being accused of harassment or labeled as creepy. It's time for women to take charge of their dating lives and start making things happen.
So yeah, that's going to be the end of this video. So like, comment, subscribe. We out.